27 minutes, 35 seconds to go. Let's get into this heat. Sebastian Zietz from Kilauea, Kauai. You know this guy as a powerhouse. He's got a deep bag of tricks. What are his chances in this heat, Potts?
Oh, great. I mean, Seabass has got a chance anywhere he is in the world, and that's the thing. He's got, as you said, a bag of tricks as deep as anyone. He charges in big waves. He's great in the barrel, both backside and front side. He's got the air game. He's got the rail game. You know, winning in Market River, I mean, one of the more difficult events to win at. So, you know, the Seabass is he's always in there with a shot.
So consistent. Very rare to see Ace Buchan fall. And he'll be getting involved early here on his backhand. And, I mean, such a technician. These surgical strikes, every hit. And there you see, just knows where to put his board. You know, again, you're not most likely going to see any upside-down crazy aerials from Ace. He's got them, but he really relies on that precise technical approach.
Expecting big and better things from that kid. He's unbelievable.
Having a deep paddle, it's Ezekiel Lau, one of the powerhouses on tour. You know, when he lays into a turn, water displacement will happen. So he gets on the open face, and there it was. Big, snapping roundhouse for Ezekiel Lau, but unable to finish. Did some damage, 3 pretty big turns, but he goes down in his final turn, and that'll be the last thing the judges see. The good news is here, sometimes if you put on a display like that, you've washed off all the bad, you know, the bad vibes, and you can go out there and really crank things up. We'll see if that happens for Connor. Here's a look back at Ezekiel Lau.
Yeah, this next turn right here, definitely the best on the wave. Just brings it all the way back around, and that's that. Like I was saying, you know, he had a tendency to cut that turn short to try and fit that next maneuver in. Really finishing off his turns now, which is going to bode well with the judges. Really speaking, round 2 difficult for the red jersey because they're not used to being there.
You're right. Here we go. It's going to be your surfer in blue. Our first look at Sebastian Zietz as he works away around the corner, blows the tail out. Yeah, he does get back into control. But this wave real bouncy and just bucks him right off. You saw that refraction from the jetty as it pushed across that wave. It was going to be a tough read all the way. So Sebastian Zietz now, you know, that is not how you want to start a heat.
Well, I think Felipe came out the blocks firing, you know, to get an excellent score. Let's have a look at Seabass. I love that, the way he just accentuates that turn, grabs the rail. A wild ride for Sebastian Zietz, a lot of lump and bump, and he's just hanging off by his toe now. I honestly thought Felipe set the pace. I mean, for heat 1 to drop an 8.6, amazing stuff.
Now will that pace be matched by Ace Buchan? So one big turn as he makes his way to this inside section. That's the big turn we want to see. Controlled, and you saw just a little, you know, perk up.
Let's have a look at Ace Buchan's wave here. Bumpy on the face, nice turn to kick it off, nothing too radical, just setting it up, and this right here is where all the points are going to come from. Karate chop.
Puffed his chest out, letting the judges know he's in control. And we got Ezekiel Lau right behind him. Big layback whip for Ezekiel Lau. And so this is cool. You see Ace, he's just going to make the paddle back out, while Ezekiel Lau is going to opt for that ride back out.
Him just go, oh no, because it was going to be a fairly good score. And then right behind Ezekiel Lau, watch this turn right here from Zeke. Wham! Just really just threw everything into it. I mean, one of the big boys on tour, and that was just some power right there.
Right now you see somebody taking off, dropping in, and having a beautiful open face tag right there. Seabass really feeling it, getting caught behind, but what this tide's going to do is it's going to allow some open face. So this tide's going to pull along this shoreline, goes out by that jetty, creates a deep spot, and that's why the sandbar gets created out the back there. Little refraction from the swells coming in, coupling up with those peaks in that deep spot into the shallow, and then it rifles off down the sandbar.
Beach starting to get a little pushed back there. We saw a quick one from Sebastian Zietz, but here's what could potentially be a pivotal moment in this heat as Ace Buchan goes for the super floater and just has to kick it out from underneath him, knowing you do not want to tussle with that V that is formed. When the lip comes over, it hits the flat part and jacks back up, and that's where bad things happen to your ankles, to your boards, your knees. Sometimes it's better just to kick that board away and get back out there. 7:48. So with priority, it was Ezekiel Lau. He gives it up to Sebastian Zietz. Comes around the corner. Beautiful open face carve straight back into the whitewater. He's going to try to make Ezekiel Lau regret that decision. Not a lot on offer on the inside, but man, 2 blistering hacks from Sebastian Zietz. That'll get him right back in this heat.
Yeah, he needed something, didn't he? Sebastian on the other side, picking up the scraps through the inside, but beautiful opening maneuver, getting that extra little slide out on the open face again. I love the way he grabs the rail, kicks that tail out on that little backwash there, timing that absolutely perfect. And that's the thing, I mean, you make 1 or 2 mistakes here and there, and all of a sudden the heat's kind of over.
With priority, Ezekiel Lau now going to try to make Sebastian Zietz pay for that last wave. One big snap to start it off. Big open face hook straight back into the pocket. That will be the final turn for Ezekiel Lau on that last wave, but he really made that turn count.
Well, 4 points is his second highest scoring ride. So basically, you know, with the priority situation especially, you're sitting there, you've got priority. Ezekiel Lau, let's have a look here. Big, deep bottom turn straight up through the lip. Nice turn there to kick it off. And then again, that nice drawn-out bottom turn with a little bit of a different jam. Missed that end section.
Hard maneuver to make look good.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times when you're bending over and grabbing your rail, you can it can look pretty awkward. But if you do it like Sebastian Zietz does it, you're going to look good every time. Here goes Ace Buchan. Speaking of looking good, that backhand is kind of firing right now. So Ace Buchan with that 6.07 on the strength of a couple big backside whips like that. We'll see if that last wave will better the 3.33. Kind of closed out pretty quickly around him. But the judges, they always like to see when you go beyond vertical past 12 o'clock and whip it back straight around and go straight towards the beat.
And so they shouldn't be. I mean, you should have every part of your game sharpened.
Sebastian Zietz blowing the tail out, going for the goat boat, goes down. So Sebastian Zietz is kind of not really surfing against Ezekiel or Ace. He's more surfing against the backwash.
Yeah, exactly.
He's having a lot of trouble with kind of the waves he's been getting have been real lumpy.
You know, identify what you need to do and do exactly that.
All right, this could be our final look at Ezekiel Lau. Big power hack to start this wave off. Now we're talking the strong Hawaiian straight up into the lip, blows the tail. Can he ride out clean? He does. And he likes it. I think that was a sign to the judges. You know what you got to do. Throw me a big score for big surfing like that.
That was better too. I love the way he took his time with it, Chris. I mean, he didn't rush anything. First turn, connected nicely. You watch here, waiting, and then now unloads. You know, I prefer focusing on that one last turn rather than trying to fit too much in. Less is more in beach break situations. Take your time, focus on those turns. Make sure you connect nicely with it. Throwing a lot of spray out the back. Zeke needing a 6.37. Is that the best wave of the heat?
Basically brought every tool out of his bag
Pretty
right
much,
there.
right?
And what I liked is he could have tried to fit 3 turns in there and done 3 good turns, but instead opted for the 2 massive turns.
Yep.
And I think the judges are going to react exactly how he wants them to react. So this heat is over. Now it's up to the judges. They have spoken. A 7.67. Ezekiel Lau with the last second win by way of 2 massive turns, giving the judges something to chew on. And they bit quick and threw out that score. So Ezekiel Lau will be moving on into round 3.